Hey everyone! This video is going to be a heavy one. Namtan is fed up and clocking the haters, Punjie's coming out and the reactions to it, the hate being thrown at Enjoy in June, and finally updates on Pam Arhoung's next series, plus a lot more in between. Namtan has clearly reached her limit with trolls who like to call themselves fans. She didn't post just 1 or 2 messages, she posted 4 messages on her Instagram channel, and you can really feel how frustrated she is. Fun fact. In my very first video on this channel, I talked about how Namtan film constantly gets hate. She even addressed that topic herself in a TikTok live back then. And now, here we are again. She's once more having to remind people that she's a human being, not a character or a fantasy. She's allowed to have friends, she's allowed to socialize, and she's allowed to live like a normal person while working in the entertainment industry. Let's first take a look at what she actually wrote. She said, "I will have friends, and I will love them forever. Whether I'm traveling or just living my life, I'll always invite them. If some of them are free, they'll come. If not, then maybe on the next trip. I can go with whoever I want. Do not harass my friends, not a single one of them. Stop judging others through your tiny bubble. If you don't have friends, don't interfere in how others live their lives. And listen closely. You're nothing but air, completely invisible, and you don't matter to me. Do not touch any of my friends. Period." She goes on to say, "Why would you feel disappointed in me when you're not even my fan who genuinely loves me? My fans don't act like that. When you say you're disappointed, I honestly don't feel sorry. That's not my problem. It's not my responsibility to live my life the way you want. Okay?" The most disturbing part of her statement is when she explains the real-life consequences of this behavior. Her friends and the people around her are now afraid to touch her, stand close to her, or even interact naturally because they fear backlash and rumors. This exposes the lie that online harassment has no real-world impact. It creates fear, isolation, and emotional pressure, turning something as innocent as friendship into a source of anxiety. This is what she wrote. "I'm at the point where my friends and people around me don't even dare to touch me, come near me, or do anything because they're scared." What the heck? No matter the gender, they're all facing this. What kind of logic is that? Like, if I stand next to someone or go out with them, then they're my boyfriend or girlfriend. So the whole world must be my boyfriend and girlfriend then. Does my chemistry work with anyone on Earth, huh? Help me. Why don't you think I'm dating Lunar too then? Hugging tightly, great chemistry, like a whole K-drama. Lovey-dovey for 3 days, fight for 4 days. Yeah, ship it, come on, get a grip. I just went on a trip and still got bashed. What kind of fan bashes an artist for traveling with their friends? You see my point now? I'm not upset at all because they're not my fans. That's it, thank you very much. I need to heal my heart first. Next year I'll be working like crazy. I'll do my best for my work. Bye. All right. Let's talk about this properly, because what Namtan said is not something random or dramatic, and definitely not ungrateful idol behavior. I know haters are gonna say she is ungrateful and twist her word. That is not the case. This was a woman reaching her limits, exhausted and fed up. This was frustration that's been building for a long time finally spilling out. And she was absolutely right. When she addresses the people saying they are disappointed in her, she completely dismantles their sense of entitlement. Disappointment implies expectation, and expectation implies ownership. Namtan makes it clear that people who act this way are not genuine fans. Real fans don't try to control an artist's personal life or guilt trip them for living normally. She does not owe anyone an apology for not fitting into a fantasy, and she is absolutely right to say that it is not her responsibility to live according to someone else's desires. Her sarcasm about dating rumors is just another day in TGL how irrational the mindset has become. According to these people, standing next to someone or traveling together automatically means a romantic relationship. By pushing this logic to the extreme, how absurd and detached from reality these assumptions are. Chemistry, closeness, and friendship do not equal romance, and treating them as such only shows how deeply warped this thinking is. Now I know the pattern. Once again, my comment section is going to be filled with discussion around fan service. In fact, I am planning to make a video on this topic. I do talk about this here and there every other week. Some will inevitably blame this on fan service and argue that TGL should stop doing it altogether. That argument completely misses the point. Fan service is a professional, scripted part of entertainment. It is not a personal promise, and it does not erase an artist's right to have a private life. The inability to separate on-screen promotion from real life is a personal issue, not an artist's responsibility. Even without fan service, people who are this entitled would still find reasons to overanalyze, accuse, and harass. The problem is not fan service. The problem is parasocial obsession and the refusal to respect boundaries. As for fan service, if you cannot separate fan service from real life, and if you know you can easily become delusional and fall into the rabbit hole of wanting these actresses to date in real life, then I need to say this very plainly. This media is not for you. You should stop engaging with GL media altogether. In fact, this doesn't even apply only to GL. It applies to Asian entertainment in general. If fan service makes you uncomfortable or emotionally unstable, then maybe it's better to watch something else, perhaps Western media, where fan service is not as prominent or structurally built into the industry. A good example of this cultural gap is the recent trolling around Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande during their Wicked promotions. As someone who has been consuming Asian media for over a decade, their closeness and physical affection didn't bother me at all, nor did I find it strange. But people who are not used to Asian entertainment culture and who have never been exposed to fan service clearly found it too much or uncomfortable. From a GL fan perspective, what Cynthia and Ariana did was extremely mild. GL couple have done far more than that while promoting their series. This is where people need to understand that Asian media, whether it's K-pop, Thai entertainment, or other Asian industries, operates on a completely different structure. Fan service is not optional. It is expected. It is demanded. It functions on a clear demand and supply system. There is an audience that wants it, and companies deliver it because there is money involved. Without fan service, companies would not generate enough revenue, and without that revenue, they would not invest in more GL projects in the first place. I understand the parasocial relationship argument, and I agree that it's a serious issue. But at the end of the day, it is also the consumer's responsibility to engage with this content in a healthy and self-aware way. If you personally believe fan service is a problem, then the solution is simple. Don't engage deeply with it. Be a casual fan. Watch the show, wait for the next episode, live your life, and move on. It really is not that hard. And I'm really pissed about this, because Girls Rule is one of my most anticipated shows, and these toxic fans are going to ruin the experience for all of us. Can you imagine how they're going to react when they start seeing different pairings? Namtan with Love, Film with Milk, or even Film with Emmy. The meltdowns are going to be unreal. Emmy even posted something funny on her Instagram story with the caption, "Can't choose, eat them all." In the video, she says, "This one is the ex, the flavor I like and am familiar with, and this one is the new partner I want to try." If you didn't catch the joke, she was clearly talking about her upcoming series Moonshadow. Film is playing her ex, and Bonnie is her girlfriend. She's hilarious for that. This is exactly the kind of dynamic I'm excited for. I want to see these actresses interact naturally, act with different people, and explore different pairings. That's how we get more interesting stories and more projects like this. So why are fans being so toxic? Let them interact. Let them work. Let them act. Not everything needs to be this serious. Moving on, we have a few more updates. Like I mentioned in my last video, Punjie has come out as gay. Even now, some fans still aren't fully convinced, mostly because of that ongoing narrative and memes saying GL actresses only claim to be queer for fan service.
The important thing is that you're here. You're here just in time.
So I understand why some people are still skeptical. This is a bigger issue on its own. I actually want to talk about that in a separate video, because if I go deep into it here, this video will become way too long, and I still have more updates to cover. That said, Punjie is gay and she has come out for real. This wasn't just implied. She directly responded to a fan comment. A fan wrote her a really sweet message saying, "I'm proud of you, Punjie. Proud that you dare to be yourself and understand your own identity. But deep down, there is this uneasy flutter because every coin has two sides. There are still many things ahead that will help you grow. No matter what, I'll support you with all my heart. I'll protect your smile with everything I've got as much as this online mom can." Punjie replied, "Thank you so much. I'll learn to be more mindful and conscious." Now I need to make this very clear. Punjie coming out does not automatically mean Mabel is gay, and it does not mean they're in a relationship. Her coming out is not a confirmation of any romantic involvement between them. I've already seen posts saying things like, "This is a real couple we should protect," or "This is the couple I'm going to defend." And look, protect Punjie and Mabel as individuals all you want. That's great. But this is not a real couple unless both of them explicitly say so. And to add to this, Enjoy and June are also going through a similar situation right now. First of all, I don't understand how this couple gets this much hate. I really don't get where it's even coming from. Over the past few weeks, I've seen multiple things piling up. There was another round of discussion about June's boyfriend rumors, then people got mad about the high ticket prices for their event, and on top of that, Denied Love has been receiving a significant amount of hate as a series. I don't know, I see this hate as a jealousy situation. If you don't like the show, if you think it's repetitive, monotone, or whatever, that's your opinion, and you're entitled to it. But directing that hate at the actresses is where the line is crossed. If I'm being honest about Denied Love, it's not my favorite show or one of top 5 shows this year. But it is someone's favorite show out there, and it managed to be a hit, pulled really good number in terms of engagement. I do think it was a lucky series, and I'm happy for Enjoy June. It got lucky in terms of timing, the amount of love and hype it received surprised me too. Yes, I agree there are plot holes, the story is repetitive, and it felt rushed. But it came out at exactly the right moment, during a GL drought when no other series was airing. I remember they dropped the trailer and then started airing the show just 2 weeks later. That said, Enjoy and June undeniably had great chemistry. They're the reason people kept watching. They're the kind of pairing that can make you sit down and stay engaged. You watch the show for them. Now, I know a lot of people online think the show is overhyped and didn't deserve that level of attention. Fine. But can we please stop turning criticism of a show into personal attacks on actresses? Criticize the plot, criticize the writing, criticize the pacing, go all out on that if you want, but why are we hating on the actresses themselves? I decided to include this in the video because this is now the 3rd time I've seen actresses openly talk about online hate. I remember Enjoy talking about it in an X space just last week, and now, again, we're seeing videos addressing the same issue. At this point, it's not a one-off anymore, it's a pattern, and it's exhausting.
ไม่ต้องสนใจคนที่ผู้ซื้อแล้วไม่ดีออนไลน์นะไม่ได้สนใจแล้วค่ะสนใจตรงนี้คือคนตรงหน้าค่ะไม่ไปเวลานานๆถ้าเกิดว่าเห็นคนที่ไม่ดีออนไลน์อย่างตรงนะคะแล้วก็รักค่ะรักเราแล้วก็มั่นใจในตัวเองแล้วก็บางทีกลับไปแล้วก็ได้เลยค่ะ
And we have Pam. She is again hinting at an upcoming project with Arhoung.
Guys, have the adult have their meeting yet? Not yet, Sky. I think it's have to be like after New Year's. I think, cause like Arhoung is in My Meteor and me is in E10, and the company in the middle is VTV. So I think they have to like have a lot of meetings like. For with My Meteor, with E10, and with collaborations, and with the VTV. So I think it's take a little time, a little more time I think, and because it's almost New Year, so maybe after New Year's, I'm not sure.